Hi guys, it's me again, International Master Sopiko Guramishvili here for you on Chess 24. Miss Tactics, and today we have Tactic Test. We don't have Banter Blitz, but we have Tactics Test. I see lots of challenges, so please do not challenge me because today is not Banter Blitz, but we have Tactic Test, which means that we will solve lots of tactics. How does it work? I'm going to Chess 24, I'm choosing the tactics trainer, and I'm solving tactics in front of you. You are following my thoughts, you are following my candidate moves, and you yourself are seeing the positions and are solving them with me. Sorry if I sound a bit like a boy, because I caught cold. It's really pity, it's such a nice weather in Holland. We have sun, a bright shining sun, and 14, 15, 16 Celsius, so it's really great weather, and I don't know how I managed to catch cold. But it happens, so please forgive me if I cough or something, but I'll try my best to show you the best side of me and solve the tactics. Which means I am Miss Tactics and I should solve the tactics rightly. So I'm going to Chess 24 and I'm choosing the tab Learn, then Tactics Trainer, and afterwards I'm solving the tactics in front of you. But also in the end of the show we have I'm usually answering your questions, so if you have any questions related to chess, please do ask in the chat. I'll take my time, I'll read your questions and I'll try to answer all of them. So please ask the questions, but that's in the a bit like before the end of the show, like 15 minutes before, so please ask the questions, but not right now. Right now we're going to solve the tactics and afterwards answer the questions. Alright, I'm going to Chess 24 and I am choosing Tactics Trainer. Here we have the very first puzzle already, and it is my move, white to play. I hope you see the board, I hope everything works fine. So it is white to move and something going on H file, that's for sure. When I first see the position, sometimes some ideas pops up into my mind right away. Sometimes I see the motifs, the patterns right away, but if I don't, I am going for candidate moves. And I'm really recommending it to you because like this, you see the whole board, all ideas, and you have somehow fresh mind. Because sometimes it happens that you are only focused and motivated for one idea and you're trying your best to make it work, but it doesn't work. It might work, but there is something that wins easily. So I really do sound like a boy and I'm really sorry for that. It would be nicer if it was 1st April today, then I would say it was a joke or something, but actually it's not 1st April. So back for me, and let's get back to this position. My first idea that I saw the position and the first move that came up in my mind was Knight f7. I don't know how it works, if it works at all, but of course the idea is to control the h8 square so that black is not allowed to make moves like rook h8 or knight f7, or anything to protect this h7 pawn. But after knight f7, queen h7, this should be really very nicely calculated. King f8 is the only move, and I was thinking about rook f1. Then I don't see how black can defend this guy. Because if rook e7 or queen e7 or anything related to this move is queen h8, there is no mate actually. This is pity because bishop h8, rook h8 and king g7 is there. So it means that after rook f1 there is possibility to play rook e7. And now it's tiny bit problematic what to play. But anyway, what about knight f5 actually? As I said, I have to look for candidate moves. I wanted knight f7 to work very much, but also I have to look at the board and I have to consider the other candidates. Other candidates can be knight f5, gf, it shouldn't work, I mean queen h7, king f8, queen g8, king e7, rook h7, king d8. It's tough because even this I cannot make it work. Then it's a problem. If I cannot make this work, it's really a problem. Okay. What can I do and what can I play? Really like this knight f7. Also knight g8 is possible. Maybe this is more clever because after knight g8, rook g8, queen h7, it is obvious that I'm winning the rook on g8, and otherwise black cannot defend this pawn. It looks nice. No! Ah, pity. Knight f5. Knight f5 is the move, which I didn't consider because of g takes f5, but not queen h7, but queen h6, king h8 and queen f6. Sorry. Rook g7. Oh, this is nice. Rook h7, king h7 and queen h6 mate. This was beautiful, but I don't understand why knight g8 doesn't work. Is there something I miss? Because I clearly want to take this one. If rook g8, king, queen h7, it's winning. And otherwise I saw only h5, g takes h6, I saw like this, and king h8 probably is the only move, because king h7 then knight f6. But don't I have, I don't know how many pawns, don't I have 2 extra pawns? Just to be sure, I have to go to the analysis tab. So here I am pushing little button and going to analyze the puzzle. Also you can do this one. I just showed how it works. So I am going to do that and computer will answer all my questions. It is very useful to analyze. Actually, this is the really amazing feature that Chess24 has, because it's just so good when you have some questions. There is nobody to answer you, and you don't need to set up any position on the engine or computer. You just can push one button there and that's it. You have computer analysis and very, very nice feature of Chess24. So queen c5 was played, and the first choice of course is knight f5 because king f8 doesn't work. This I saw because of queen h6, rook g7 and queen g7. But after knight f5, gf, it's clear that this wins, as we saw. But my question was, why doesn't this work? And the answer is that it also works, and the only move is h5, gh, king h8, and rook df1 or knight f6 or anything. Actually, this also works. This is also +2, but knight f5 was winning right away. It gives mates very soon. That's why it was the first choice of computer. I am not very unhappy about this solution because I also saw the alternative. How can we win such positions? But what I am not happy about is that I didn't look the variations thoroughly, which means that I saw all moves, knight f5, knight g8, knight f7, all move candidates, but I didn't really calculate it precisely. Knight f5, gf, and I was only thinking about queen h7, which came automatically in my mind that I'm going knight f5 check just to get this pawn. And after that I could not see anything, that's why I chose knight g8. So a tip for you, if your intuition is telling you something, check it carefully and check it twice. Alright, let's get back to the tactics trainer and let's have another puzzle. I already have it. That's the position I am playing with white. Knight f7 was the last move. Okay, the idea is clear. If I play queen h6, knight h6 and f7 looks like after queen f6, bishop f6, it's mate. And otherwise, if queen h6, queen g8 is the only move, do I have something that I can... For example, if I play rook e1 after queen h6, queen g8 and rook e1, I don't see how black can defend rook e8 or queen g7 fg, king g8 and rook e8. I really don't see that, so I am going for queen h6, hoping that is right, and it's right, and here rook e1. That was a very beautiful puzzle, and the ideas are very clear here. When you see such position, you just imagine what happens if the knight was not on f7. This is what I did. I just saw that this bishop on b2 is really good, and with f7 it would be mate. That's why afterwards, right away, such ideas like queen h6 comes to your mind, because there is a direct threat on g7 to give a mate. And after knight h6 you see that there is f7, but what is very important is that when you see queen h6 and you see queen g8 move, you do not stop your calculation here, because it seems like, okay, what can I do? My queen is under attack, everything is under attack now, black protected, and queen g7 doesn't give me anything, of course. That's why don't stop here, just see that this e-file is open, just calculate one more move and you will see that. I promise that you're gonna see, if you will take your time, 1 or 2 more seconds, you will see the solution. Okay, that's another position for me, and I'm playing with white pieces again. I don't see anything instantly. That's why I am now looking at the board, trying to calculate what is the material situation. I am always starting from material situation, because I have to know I am piece down, piece up, or it's equal. This will give me some choice to assess the position for what I'm playing. Am I playing for draw? Am I playing for win? Am I playing for... there is no other result, so nobody's playing for loss. That's why we need to see what's going on. I think I am... okay, materially it's equal position. I would say it's pretty double-edged, because it seems that white is attacking, but I don't see the direct attack. It seems like black has it all under control. One strong point I see in this position is that this pawn on e6 is very, very strong, and e7, e8 would be fantastic. That's why rook e1, such idea comes to my mind, because after knight e1, rook e1, queen moves, then there is move e7. Let's say queen moves to, I don't even know where, to d3. That's probably the only spot for the queen. And then e7, rook f7, e8, take, king h7, and what did I achieve? Actually, I lost my pawn, my strong pawn, and the position is still equal. Should I calculate one more move there, which is knight g5? Because, okay, but he can play rook f8 instead of king h7, so maybe this is not smart. Probably it's not smart. But I do need something to hold on in this position. Okay, rook e1 was one of my move candidates. The problem also sometimes in calculation, I don't know if it happens with you or not, but sometimes with me it happens that I like the idea very much, and I am so in love with the idea that I make everything to work it out. I make everything to make it work, and I am just refusing other moves. I have this move in my mind, and sometimes when you like something very much, you don't see the weaknesses or you don't see the drawbacks of that move. That's why here in this position I like rook e1 very much, and I would spend, I don't know, 3 more minutes to calculate this line, to sometimes just to push yourself to make it work, but I don't know if it works. For example, I would be very happy if, let's say, rook e1, knight e1, you see I'm getting back to this move, rook e1, knight e1, knight e1, queen d3 is the only move, so that tells me that this might be the solution. If I play here, let's say knight e5, with the idea of if bishop e5 there is queen h6 mate, and if queen moves, let's say to d2, then I go knight g6, king h7, knight f8, and if rook f8, just e7 or anything and e7. I think that is the correct solution, so I would go for it. And knight e5 here. No! Yeah. Another thing that I didn't calculate, but I still don't know why knight e5 doesn't work. Oh, there is no mate. Bishop e5, queen h6, and there is queen h7. This is so pity. It is really pity. I just didn't. You just see the live example of missing the move and getting blind because I was so much in love with this move. I just stopped my calculation after knight e5, bishop e5 and queen h6 because I thought it's mate. Completely forgot that this lady is here and she can actually go back and there is no mate. But I would be with lost position if I played knight e5, bishop e5, queen h6 and queen h7. Luckily it's not my game, luckily it's a puzzle, and it is really nice that I don't lose any points in the tournament because of this. That's why Chess 24 is great, because we are training our skills here, and then in tournaments it's going to be much better. So what was the solution was queen h5, though I must say that it is a really very hard move. rook f7 and e takes f7, or queen f7, both wins. Queen h5, the idea is very logical, is very natural. I just want to protect this bishop and go e7 afterwards. But sometimes when there is a combination, you just don't see quiet moves, and quiet moves are very, very difficult, which means that the line that you calculate is not forcing, and it's not like boom, 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 and you win, but there is something, some idea that first you need to prepare that move. This is a very good example of prophylactics and of actually there is nothing that black can do. e7 cannot be stopped, and this is what was difficult for me, and this is why I could not see. Maybe if you give me the position from this one, from starting from this position, I would say queen h5, because then you see knight e5, queen e5, bishop e5 is there, and knight e5 doesn't work. So you have this position already, and then you will see queen h5. All right, enough about the position, and let's go to the next one, which now I am with black pieces, and knight c5 was last move what white played, which is a little weird because somehow it is, if this bishop was not here, it is a self pin. Move candidates, of course, can be bishop f3, gf is the only move, otherwise it's mate from a1, and I don't know if bishop d6 also an idea. Bishop d6, g3. Now it might be a little tricky because queen e2 is there, and I like this move very much. Bishop e2 he cannot take, and bishop d5 also not, because this guy is hanging here. And if something like queen e1 or king g1, then bishop f3 wins right away. So I must say that I am rook down, and I always tell you that the first thing that I look is material, but in this position I didn't look, and it looked to me that it was just an equal position. I completely missed that there is no rook, and getting back some material, getting back a piece is not enough. That's why, let's say, bishop f3, gf, and bishop c5 is not enough. I think bishop d6 is the correct move, g3, and queen e2. Queen f1 is a very big threat. So king g1, let's say, and bishop f3, rook f3, queen f3. Looks very good for black, but material is okay. I'm a pawn up. And there is queen e3, a very bad check. For this moment it satisfies me, so I would go bishop d6, although I'm not sure that this is the move, but it is, I guess, and queen e2. Yeah, queen g1. I have to be a little more, I have to take a bit more time, I think. Maybe something works here, but let's say queen e3, but then king g2. So it's better to take this one. Yeah, rook f3, queen f3, and it's completely winning for black. Ooh, what's going on? I say that I'm rook up, but I also see that the pawn is far. It's really far, and Black wants to promote b2, b1 in 2 moves. What can I do for that? Obviously, pawn endgame is not in my favor because there is an extra pawn. I could go in pawn endgame like rook g7, b2, rook b7, b1, take, but then I think it is black who is playing for something more than a draw. And otherwise, let's say rook g8 can be an idea, but then king d1 is there after b2. It's tough, it's really very tough. And it's an endgame. In endgames you always need precise calculation because there are not many pieces on the board, and once there is a mistake, it is really lost. There are no counter chances or anything you can hope for. That is why I have to take my time here and I have to think, what can I do? Rook g3 doesn't make any sense. I really don't understand what I don't see and what I miss. There was no h6 pawn, then it would be great for me, but unfortunately it is there and I don't have time to take that guy. Actually, I have to evaluate the position and think for what I'm playing. Am I playing for a draw or for the point? Because if, let's say, rook g7, b2, rook b7, b1, take, king g3, king c2, king, I have to go g2, I guess, to have opposition, then king d3 would be met with king f3, but king d4 I would have big problems. That's why probably I need to make a draw. And how can I make a draw? But probably not, because if I wanted to make a draw, I would just give lots of checks. Cannot I give lots of checks? I cannot give because rook g8, b2, rook a8, king b1. Maybe king c8. Sorry, rook c8. Then king a2. But king b3 is there, no point. Tough. It's very tough. I think I cannot make even a draw in this position, and I would be super surprised if it's winning for white. What can I do? This b7 pawn is really disturbing. if I give a check, then king a2, check again b2, it doesn't make any sense. If I don't grab the b7 pawn, then if I have to give my rook for the queen, which will be promoted, then there will be an extra pawn, which is not in my favor, of course. Extra pawn in ending, it usually means that the position is really lost. But I don't really see how can I make this work. Let's say rook g8, b2, rook a8, king b1, rook a5, king to c2, rook c5, rook b2, rook c5, king d3, then rook b5, king c2, rook c5. Can I make draw like that? Just to give lots of checks. I don't know, I think I'm losing a lot of time in this position, so I would just try rook g8. And no, that's not true. And guys, guess what? This is winning. It's winning. Oh my god. I completely missed. I saw the idea of this. I saw rook g5. But I just thought, what happens if I just play b2, take, and b1? And there is of course this check, and then the pawn, f pawn, promotes much faster than the b7 pawn. And hg is just h6, b2, h7, and then queen b2, because if, let's say, king a2, then queen a8, I grab the b7 pawn, exchange the queens, and get the g5 pawn. And yeah, this is winning. Oh, this is so pity, because the very first move that came to my mind was rook g5. If you're watching tactic tests weekly, you would understand already that I love to give pieces, and first move that comes to my mind is any kind of stupid sacrifice or just giving the rooks. So in this position, I just thought that it doesn't make sense. I even said that if there was no h6 pawn, then it would be great for me. Rook g5 is a very beautiful move, and the idea is not that difficult actually. Just it is really difficult to see all the lines, and just to see that there is a check, and then you take the pawn. Beautiful, very, very beautiful, but it gave me hard times. It really tortured me. Okay, let's go to another one, and we have here, what do we have here? White to move. Something might happen on e5. And with something I mean that knight e5, if it works, f takes e5, queen e5, rook f6 or king g8, doesn't matter, rook d4, and there is a double attack. I guess this should work, but I have to be quite careful, because there might be queen f7, and if I take this guy, there is rook e8, and I'm losing. So knight e5, f takes e5, queen e5, king g8, rook d4, queen f7, rook g4 does not work. which means that I have to forget knight e5. But what else can I play? I also don't really see. If you have any ideas, please help me. It seems like I'm suffering a lot today, not only with positions but with my cold also. But chess players are fighters and we have to be fighters. That's why we have to think in any condition, and we have to be smart and calculate in any case and condition. So I'm starting my calculation with what can I start? Moves like rook d4 here wouldn't work because there is only one check on e7 and there is even rook f7. I still want knight e5 to work, and I'm still gonna try vary a bit because actually I'm not forced to play rook d4, but I have another rook also, rook e4. So let's say knight e5, f takes e5, queen e5, king g8, rook e4. If rook e8, I'm gonna take this guy, or I'm gonna take on e8 actually. And any other move, let's say queen f7, then rook g4. There is no rook e8, this guy is not hanging, so I think that's the solution. Rook e4. Yeah. That's it. Very nice one. Okay. This is something that might happen on c2, but there is c1, rook, unfortunately, but there can be many ideas. b4, king b4, does it give me something? I don't see. Unfortunately, now I don't see if it gives me something. What about very ridiculous b4, king b4, and king a8? Can I play such moves with the idea of rook b8? Knight c4, rook b8, king a3, rook b3 looks. But I am piece down, and even if I win the piece, it's not a big achievement. I feel that b4 should be the move. b4, king b4, maybe queen d6. If king c3, then queen c5, knight c4. Knight c4, I can just play a5 with the idea of queen b4, just winning. And if rook c5, then knight c2. Yeah, I think that is the solution. Rook c5, just knight c2. But I think more interesting was to play king c3. I don't see direct win here. Knight e2 doesn't make sense. That's why king c3, queen c5, knight c4, and a5 I think was pretty, because queen b4 cannot be avoided. Okay, let's go to the next one. And what can happen here? Bishop h4 is one of the moves I would consider, because queen h4 then knight f3 wins. G3, just bishop g3 and knight e2, and if queen e3, knight e2 as well. So I think this guy wins. Yep, that's correct. Nice. Warming up. Okay, rook c3, double attack on the rook and the queen, but it doesn't win anything. Knight e4, doesn't it work? Knight e4, rook b3, knight f6, king g7, ab. Sorry. I think this one works. Yeah, it was not that difficult. b3, and I would say this is the last puzzle for me to solve, because afterwards I would go take my time and read what kind of questions do you want me to answer. So if you have any questions, please do write in the chat and I'm gonna answer all of them. For now, let's think how to solve this one. Let's say rook b5, there is bishop b5, queen a3, there is knight a4, queen a4, knight a4, bishop b5, knight c3. I'm not winning here. I think rook b5 is very easy. Once again, rook b5, queen a4, knight a4, bishop takes here, because otherwise it would be piece down. Bishop takes, knight c3, and knight b5. Let's try. Yeah, that's it. Very, very nice. Now I'm going to go to the chat and read if you have any questions. If you don't have, I'm gonna get back here and solve some more puzzles. The first thing I see is that she's doing the tactics for herself, it seems. Unfortunately, I have to let you know that I'm not available to read the chat during solving the tactics. That's why I cannot have your help, or I cannot make you solve something or listen to your advices. So in this case, you just see that how I think and what are my thoughts about the position, and afterwards I'm taking my time and reading your comments, reading any questions you have and trying to answer that. I'm sorry for that. Maybe one day I will be able to have access to 2 desktops and have a chat on another one, but for now it doesn't work for me. Okay, let's see. First question was, there's a famous saying, chess is 99% tactics, but Hikaru says it's true only till 2400 level and 50% tactics at Super GM level. What's your opinion? I am not sure I would agree with Hikaru or with the saying that chess is 99% tactics. Though I would say that it plays a huge role, and I would definitely say that it has much more percent rather than strategy. It is true that on international master level, let's say, or even grandmaster level, let's say 2500, it's much more important rather than in top level, because sometimes in top level games you just see such positions that there is not an opportunity for any kind of tactics. The openings are so much analyzed and they know so much till move 40, 50 that there is just no chance you see a pure tactic so often on top level rather than on 2400 level. So in this case, Hikaru is right, but I would not say that it's just 50% for the top level. I think it's much less. Okay, coming from your triangle Slav video, what is so bad about the exchange Slav for black? Well, it is not bad thing. I don't think that black has any problems in exchange Slav, but sometimes when I play against low-rated players, I don't want to have simplified position. That's why in triangle Slav I recommend to start with e6 and not c6 to avoid the exchange Slav with lower-rated opponents, so that sometimes they opt to exchange all pieces, go to endgame, and then you don't have any chances to complicate the position. Hi Sopiko, I was wondering, at the IM Grandmaster standard, how many lines and moves ahead do you normally calculate? It depends on the position. Sometimes it is very easy to calculate many moves if it's an endgame. For example, if you have pawn endgame, then you can calculate 10 moves, 15 moves, but it's very easy because there are only moves. This is forced lines, and you can brag that, oh, I'm calculating, 15 moves ahead, but this is not true in every position. It depends on how complicated it is and how simple it is. Normally, I personally look, let's say 3, 4, maximum 5 moves ahead, which is like normal complicated position. But if it's more simple, I can look for more, of course. What is the next tournament you will be playing? I'm gonna play very soon the Reykjavik Open. It starts at 18th of April, and I'm really looking forward for it. My husband will also play there, so we once played it there. It was very nice. I love Iceland, and I'm looking forward to going back there. Okay, Sopko, what's rating level are these puzzles? I have no idea. Usually it's written after you solve it, but I somehow never pay attention to it. Sometimes even 1500 is tough for me, sometimes 2200 is not a big deal for me. So the rating doesn't matter, it just matters how alert I am, how sharp I am, and if I see the moves correctly. Hi Sopiko, let's assume that you survived the cold. Good luck with it. What's your next tournament? Yeah, thank you very much. This is, I already answered it. I'm going to play play the Reykjavik Open. Then let's see if there is more questions. I love your tactic series. Would you recommend that 1400 rated players solve the positions by looking away from the board, since solving the tactics while looking at the board makes you have to keep two positions in your head. Are you solving them this way? For 1400 player, I would not recommend to look away, because you need to have the position clear in mind. It doesn't matter the rating. I think it is always very nice to have to look at the position. What is more important is that when you have it on board, you're not tempted to move the pieces, because in the game we cannot get moves back, which we can do in the analysis. That's my tip for solving the tactics, that you have to look at the diagram. Doesn't matter what is your level, you just have to look at the diagram or at the board. Please do not make the moves, but have the moves in your mind. In this way you will train your imagination, calculation, and it will be much more easy to play the games and to not to miss anything while you're playing a blitz or tournament or a game, doesn't matter. Who played the best tactical shot against you in a tournament game? Any game that you consider you played that you're proud, or any tactical shot? There are really a lot of games I played. There are much more games that I like. Some of them I lost, some of them I won. It's not I love chess, and that is why, of course, it's much nicer if I win the game, but even if I lose, but the tactic was brilliant and it was beautiful, I really love it. From the recent tournaments, I should say that I really like the whole game I played against Sadat in the World Championship match, the knockout system. The first game, I think it went very smooth, and from the beginning, from the opening, it was very complicated. It was Nimzo-Indian, and it was with f3, and it was very complicated. And then it became so that I needed to calculate a lot. I needed to pay attention to the tactics, and I also needed to be a strategic player, to see prophylactics, to have a plan in my mind, not to hurry when I have good position, and just to get everything ready and get ready for the final blow. That is so far, I had a lot of games. I am not very good in remembering all of them. My husband has much better memory for my games than I do. But I really love my game against Sarah, which I won, and lots of games that I lost in Reykjavik, not Reykjavik, in Vikensay. For example, against Benjamin Bock, he played a very, very nice game with a very beautiful tactics. I was just busted from the opening because I tried e4, and he never played French. I faced French, and I was like, what's going on here? Against Roger Marcus, he did not give me any chance. Or against Jones, he also did not give me any chance, but those two were strategic games where I just played very badly. I just didn't pay attention to my pieces, which I locked myself, and they just used it very, very nicely. I think this is the difference between when you're playing an open tournament, because when you're playing, sometimes your opponent always gives you chances, even if you make a very, very bad mistake. If your opponent is your level, even if I'm playing against a strong player, and if he makes mistakes, I usually see it, I use it, I get advantage, but then I give chances sometimes, and these guys, they don't give chances, so I was completely crushed in Vikensay. Okay, let's see another question. Do you play in the Georgia Championship? I used to play in Georgian Championship. I was invited also to play this year, previous year, but unfortunately it clashes to many tournaments, or my schedule is quite busy at that time, and I don't have opportunity to go there and play, because I planned the tournaments much earlier than I was invited. So Jan feels white gets some opening advantage against triangle Slav and Dutch without much effort, and he prefers the main line Slav, Rogozin and semi-Slav, even Vienna. Your opinion? Of course, Yanni is a very experienced chess player. I respect his opinion, and I think that everyone has its own taste. It is sometimes so that computer nowadays is the best advisor. So when you turn off on the engine, it shows 0 zeros. There are two types of players. There is one who likes black, there is one who likes white. And in this case, I think Triangle Slav does not have any drawbacks, that you don't need any effort or much effort to get the advantage. I just think it's about the taste. Sometimes you like to play it with white, you like to play against it with white, sometimes you like it with black, sometimes you like the initiative, sometimes you like the extra pawn. That's just about the taste, but of course Jan's opinion is very much respected, and we should all listen to him, though we should have always our opinion. Sopiko, why do you have always your camera so much down? We see almost ceiling of the room, and on the very, very bottom of the screen is your head. Do you see me like that now? I'm not sure. In my program everything is fine, so I'm not sure. Maybe you have to scroll up or down. But I'll take a look at the settings afterwards, and I'll try to fix it. Do you play blindfold or chess 960? I love chess 960. Previous year, I'm sorry for that. Last year I was playing the tournament in chess, Fischer's chess as they call it, and it was the first time I played it, and I was very happy because there were all women, all top 10 women from Georgia Olympic team, and we have very, very strong girls, and I managed to win 5 games out of 7 and draw 2, so I was clear first with a big margin. I love the tournament since that. And which one do you prefer? As you see, I said that I love Fischer's chess just because I have good memories, and blindfold is also very interesting, but I didn't try it so often. I was trying it when I was little, when we were going to the youth championships by bus from Georgia to Greece. That was funny times. And when we were in the bus, whole 4 days, we were kids, and we were playing chess blindfold. Okay. Since FIDE discriminates between women and men, maybe it would be nice to add the field on chess 24. What do you think? I don't get the question, sorry. Sorry for that. Also, when practicing preparing, would you recommend players to play blitz games or standard games? Some say blitz, some say standard. What would you say about this? Well, depends on for which tournament are you preparing, because nowadays rapid and blitz tournaments became very popular. There are world championships and all of them, all strong players are taking part. If you're preparing for them, of course you have to train and practice the blitz and rapid. Your skills you have to improve. And if you're playing for an open and normal control tournament, then I would not recommend you to play the blitz. I'm very sorry, because when you're playing blitz, it helps you to see things very fast, but you might get accustomed to not taking your time, and then sometimes in critical positions you might hurry your decision. So I have to read the last question from today. And how do you react to a win or loss after a tournament game? Recently I had an interview where I had this question, and they asked me also what was the secret of the success, of my success. When I win the tournaments. I think that I said that I strictly follow one rule, which is, doesn't matter what is the result of the game, you just have to forget it, and you just have to play game by game. You have to play new game. So any result, I know it's very hard, and I know sometimes it gets very annoying, but I try my best to forget it and play the next game. Okay, thank you very much for being with me, for bearing me like this. I don't know, I am really probably very annoying right now with my cough and cold. I apologize for that. And I hope for Thursday I'm gonna be much better, and we're gonna have Mrs. Day, so please be there. Miss Strategy and Miss Tactics will have Banter Blitz and Middle Game Show starting at 6 p.m. and Anna will have her show at 7:30. Wish you a very, very nice evening, and till soon. Bye bye. Till Thursday.